right, welcome into the show. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. Chase Sr. here with you. Hope everybody out there is having a great Wednesday. Coming up, a bunch of Niners news to get to as they prepare to take on the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football here in Week 8. We'll be doing a watch party for that game right here on the channel over the next few days and every single day year-round. So much great content in the lead-up to it, and obviously beyond it. And then, of course, I'll be joining Larry Krueger on his YouTube channel, The Krug Show, on Friday for my weekly spot. Be sure to subscribe to his channel. Subscribe right here because content never sleeps. Let's begin with a key to the game for how San Francisco can beat the Dallas Cowboys for this get-right game and even up that record at 500, as right now they are 3-4. They fall to 3-5. I know they started 3-5 back in 2021. They made it to the NFC Championship game, but this is really a thick, competitive, deep NFC. That's a big hole to climb out of. So, in this game against the Cowboys, what is the Niners' bread and butter in Kyle Shanahan's offense? It's running the football. San Francisco is also very banged up at wide receiver. We'll see if Deebo Samuel can play. Brandon Ayuk out for the rest of the year. Looks like Juwan Jennings might not be able to play, and Brock Purdy hasn't played a lot with Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing, and outside of those two players, it's not like Ronnie Bell and Chris Conley have caught a bunch of passes at the NFL level. But the Cowboys' run defense is very suspect. The Cowboys' run defense, not good. Yards per rush, they're 15th in the NFL, giving up 4.5 yards per carry. Rushing yards per game, 143.2. That's 27th in the NFL. They're giving up 1.7 rushing touchdowns per game. That is 31st in the NFL. And then their advanced analytics, EPA per play allowed, it's 32nd, dead last. Success rate allowed, 30th. DVOA, number 29. Adjusted line yards is also 30th. So what I want to see Kyle Shanahan do in this game is run the football a lot, and be relentless about it. This is a Dallas Cowboys team that doesn't have confidence going up against the Niners. Just like the Niners lack that confidence going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, it's similar in this type of game. So take their will, wear them down, attack their weakness, and what I don't want to see is the repeat of what we saw against the Arizona Cardinals, who, going into that game, had one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. But then the Niners went pass happy. They went away from their strength. They went away from the run, and then they scored no second half points. So against the Dallas Cowboys, run the football right through Dallas, and that's a strength for San Francisco and a weakness of the Cowboys they should be able to exploit. As for some Niners injury news, Deebo Samuel, he was in the hospital for a couple of days, battling with pneumonia, fluid in his lungs. Today at the SAP Performance Center on the practice field, he was doing some running, some sprinting, conditioning. Kyle Shanahan said he does have a chance to play in prime time against Dallas. The Niners are going to need him moving forward without Ayuk. And in the locker room, he put up a couple of shots on the infamous basketball hoop that they have in there. He seemed to be in good spirits. So not practicing today, but of course doing a lot better following that bout with pneumonia, and has that chance to play against the Cowboys. Christian McCaffrey has also been seen around the facility a little bit more. I think that's a good sign as he tries to ramp up from the bilateral Achilles tendonitis. Christian McCaffrey was putting up some shots on that basketball hoop as well, elevating off the ground. Doesn't tell you a lot, but it tells you enough that McCaffrey's feeling okay, at least, to get the extension on his jump shot. Sticking with McCaffrey, Niners did not open up his practice window this week, but Kyle Shanahan did say, and kind of has said, the plan, bye week after this Cowboys game, then the Niners come out of that bye week, and maybe Christian McCaffrey will be able to join this team in November. Him playing in November is kind of always where I've been with him coming off this injury, going overseas, getting the treatment for that Achilles tendonitis. And John Lynch has said everything is going okay. He seems to be progressing pretty well. I'm not going to believe it until we see McCaffrey on the field because I know how fickle some of those Achilles injuries can be. Nick Bosa, he's been dealing with an elbow injury since week 2. Juwan Jennings still not present at practice. That's not good, so maybe that injury is a little bit worse than what the Niners are saying. Dre Greenlaw doing a little bit of light work on the sled as he's done over the last couple of weeks. Still probably not going to be back for multiple weeks. So the Niners injury report. These players, no practice. Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Jake Moody, Kevin Givens, George Kittle, George Odom, and Trent Williams. For Deebo, it's his wrist and illness. Jennings with the hip, Moody with the ankle, Givens with the groin, Kittle with a foot, Odom knee, Williams rest. And then players who are limited, Chris Conley ankle, Nick Bosa elbow, Jordan Mason shoulder, and then the Niners today putting Brandon Ayuk on injured reserve. His season is over, as we know, which brings us to some San Francisco 49ers roster moves. The 49ers announced that they have promoted defensive lineman Evan Anderson to the active roster from the practice squad. He's been elevated to the game day roster over the last few weeks. He's honestly played pretty well at defensive tackle. Pass rushing, run stuffing, the UDFA out of FAU. If you go back and look at our UDFA video, we talked about him and how he got this guaranteed money, I believe like $200,000 practice squad money. The Niners clearly high on him, had a pretty good camp in preseason, and then didn't make the initial 53, brought back onto the practice squad, elevated to the game day after Javon Hargrave has missed so much time with that torn triceps as he's out for the year as well, and Anderson has made the most of his opportunities. The corresponding roster move there is Ayuk going on injured reserve. So Evan Anderson pretty much takes his roster spot. Also, San Francisco has signed Dieter Iselin, an offensive lineman, and wide receiver Malik Turner to the practice squad. For Evan Anderson, went to FAU. He's appeared in 2 games. He's had 4 tackles, a sack, 1 TFL, and a forced fumble. He grew up in Orlando. He attended FAU. He appeared in 39 games, 145 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, 3 fumble recoveries, and 2 pass breakups in the college ranks. Moves pretty well for his size, and Larry Krueger did a pretty interesting interview with him where Anderson said at that size, 6'3", 326, he can still dunk the basketball. Iselin, the offensive lineman, 6'4", 300 pounds, originally entered the NFL after signing with the Chicago Bears as an undrafted free agent back in 2020. Throughout his 5-year career with the Bears, he was there from 2020 through 2022. Texans the last 2 years, 2023 and 2024. Then with the Broncos in 2024, he's appeared in 24 regular season games, 2 postseason games. He signed with the Broncos practice squad on October 8th and then was released by the team on October 19th. He's 28 years old. He attended Yale. He appeared in 24 games there, earned first-team All-Ivy League honors his senior season, so he's much smarter than me. And then for Malik Turner, he's been on this practice squad a couple of times. I actually, my first job out of college to get started in broadcasting, I worked in Springfield, Illinois. If anybody's watching from there, shout out to Springfield, Illinois, the 217. Type 217 down in the comment section so I know. And Malik Turner played for a legendary high school program there, Sacred Heart Griffin, under a legendary coach in Ken Leonard. Malik Turner then went to the University of Illinois. He had a pretty good college career there. He signed with the Seattle Seahawks as a UDFA in 2018. He's been in the NFL for 6 years. Seahawks 2018-19, Cowboys 2020-2021. And getting to my point, he's made a couple of appearances on the Niners practice squad. I thought that he should have made the team going into 2022 as a depth wide receiver and good special teams player. Look, if San Francisco is trying to improve their special teams unit, Malik Turner might be able to help you in that manner and give you depth at that wide receiver spot. Turner has played in 44 games and 3 starts in his NFL career, 29 catches, 414 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Appeared in 3 games with the Niners back in 2022. Initially didn't make the 53-man roster, then spent time with the Raiders, Texans practice squad, spent the 2023 training camp with the Colts in 2024, signed with the Niners on July 25th, and then was released on August 8th. He's 28 years old, and again, more of that special teams guy. So, lot that we covered on today's show take advantage of the Cowboys' porous rush defense, injury report, and then the Niners making some roster moves here on this Wednesday, October 23rd. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will be live on the 49ers Report tomorrow, Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. So be sure to come hang out here with me. We'll obviously talk a bunch of Niner stuff. And anytime I'm in front of a camera on this microphone, want to give you coverage that's informative, insightful, entertaining, thought-provoking, involving you. So I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll catch you tomorrow here on the Niners Report. Thanks for watching.